Dave Rubin of the Rubin Report, as you guys know, who is pretty big fraud, calls himself a classical liberal all the time in order to trick people and making people think that he's a liberal. But a classical liberal is not a liberal. A classical liberal is a libertarian. That's what he doesn't want to tell you. So he did an AMA. Now, if you don't know what an AMA is, it's an Ask Me Anything on Reddit, on the subreddit classical liberals. So this is supposed to be his home. This is supposed to be his hometown. This is supposed to be like, you know, snowball, spoon feeding. It did not go well at all. He actually got massively roasted. I'm going to read you guys some of these. So someone says, "Thanks for doing this AMA, Dave. You talk a lot about your interview style being about giving guests enough rope to hang themselves, which I think is a great concept. We know that the general population does not have time to research each and every claim that they hear, so therefore people regularly believe fake news. As an example, in your interview with David Horowitz, he said that, quote, Obama is a communist. But instead of asking a follow-up to explain why he thinks that, you moved on to other topics. Do you worry that misinformation can be spread if falsehoods go unchallenged without further questioning?" Great question, sir. Let's see what Dave Rubin responded with. He says, "In that specific instance, he kind of tossed it in mid-sentence and quickly moved on to other things. That's his opinion, and you can judge him accordingly, as you obviously do. I like hearing what and how people think, and sometimes berating people isn't the best way to do that, but I'm just doing this the best way I see how, and that may just not be for everyone. I'm really okay with that." Okay, so first off, nobody told you to berate him. They wanted you to ask a follow-up question. David Horowitz is an absolute craze. I believe he's a liberal gone conservative, a Trump supporter actually, so really like far off the spectrum. But it's truly amazing because this doof actually said that Obama is a communist. The key thing of communism is a command economy. Obama had massive private sector growth and massive stock market growth that the economy hadn't seen really since the Clinton years. So in what way is Obama a communist? Because in a communist society, there is no such thing as a private sector. There is no such thing as a stock market. The private sector job growth was massive. Massive. There is no private sector in communism. So how the fuck is he a communist, you dumb asswipe? So, and his response is, again, this Dave Rubin's response, total bullshit. It's just exposing his massive bias. So here's the next one. This person says, "Hey Dave, thanks for doing this AMA. I'm just wondering if you are willing to have Sam Seder go on your show. He is a smart progressive who will talk about policy. He says that he is available and willing to do your show. Thank you and hope you have him on to continue a free exchange of ideas." So, I don't know if you guys know this. Some of you probably will. Sam Seder is the host of the Majority Report, who's been on YouTube for a long time. He has his own radio show. And he has continuously and constantly requested to be on his show. And Dave Rubin has not accepted, and one must ask why. Now, it is because he will be challenged, and a lot of people do know Sam. So Dave Rubin refuses to have him on, which is extremely interesting because this is the guy who says the free exchange of ideas. So he found this video, which was Michael Brooks. It was not even Sam Seder. It was his producer who was filling in for him while Sam Seder was not there at the show. And essentially, it was a video making fun of Dave Rubin, which are always fun. I love videos that make fun of Dave Rubin because Dave Rubin's a con man and a jackass. And in good faith, Sam Seder took it down because Dave Rubin took offense to it. But Dave Rubin can say that progressivism is basically a mental disorder, but hey, you're not disqualified. Why is that? Just something to think about. Again, we got a lot of things to think about in today's show. Here's another one. Dave, in your very first interview with Sam Harris, you modeled how to put criticism and controversial past statements to a guest in a fair, non-confrontational way. But in subsequent interviews, you seem to abandon this model. For example, audience members who only knew Cernovich from your interview would be unaware of his controversial articles and tweets regarding rape, which many would call rape apologism. and do not get a chance to hear Cernovich's response to these criticisms. This is dangerous and arguably unethical, as it allows guests to whitewash or even lie about their past and more controversial positions. As someone who was once a very enthusiastic fan of yours, can you please explain why you abandoned your original interviewing method? This is what Dave's responded with. He said, I interview the exact same way from when we started. I didn't know about Cernovich's past tweet regarding rape, as at the time, I was just trying to find someone who publicly would talk about supporting Trump, guessing that wouldn't be acceptable to you, but it's true. So Dave Rubin's admitting he doesn't even research his guests. He just wants money. The dude makes $30,000 a month on Patreon. That is a massive amount. What's up, guys? It's Saul Hill here. You guys are watching The Progressive Voice. Make sure you guys click subscribe down below. We're fighting Donald Trump tooth and nail, and we need your help.